Shalom, Kol Halo, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakaha, Kodash. Double honors into the apostles, double honors into the elder bishops. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so, now more so than ever. The 144,000 and the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth, that be like unto the speckled bird, the Israelite foreigners among the heathen that look like those heathen. And to the few Akwaf that are listening and learning, to you I say Shalom. This is your brother Malcolm from the branch of the great millstone, coming at you another lesson in truth for the Israelites who are scattered all over the four corners of the earth. All right, this is not a black thing. And once again, back with the Claytons, Mr. and Mrs. Clayton, on Redacted. And I love the way that they put up the U.S. national debt clock. Let's see if I can get that in the screen. Yeah. And plays in the background in their videos. So for anyone who thinks that, that your Bitcoin or anything else is going to save you, here in America, and that's not even the real, that's 34 trillion, but the true number is something like 200 trillion. So this is how you know this is all a fraud and it's all a lie. How could anyone, if every individual owes even newborns have a debt of $1 million plus? How is it some people have a 700 plus credit score? If you're $1 million plus, $1.5 million, or however many, damn near 2 million each in debt to pay off these hundreds of trillions. This is how you know they just play with the numbers. Everything about America is a fraud. It's history. It's news, as we're going to see. This is pretty much exposing the lies, the Israeli lies, which makes me think if they can lie about something that happened basically yesterday, how easy is it to lie about things that happened in the 1940s or the 1920s? All right. If they can lie about something that happened yesterday and the evidence exists that shows that they lied, are you anti-Semitic just for the fact that you read or can see the evidence that they lied? Well, you got some groups, some of these foreign groups here in America that exist, that exist on American soil for the benefit of that nation and not for the benefit of Americans, that would definitely say so. But this is Habakkuk 2:1, and it reads, "And I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and I will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what shall I answer when I am reproved? And the Lord said unto me, Write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come." And all the end day prophecies are rolling right out. And one of the things about the least of the flock are definitely drawing America and the rest of NATO into this third world war, which is prophesied to happen. All right, this is Jeremiah 50:45, and it reads, "Therefore hear you the counsel of Yahweh, that he have taken against Babylon and his purposes, that he hath purpose against the land of the Chaldeans. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them." And that's what these people are warning about and worried about. The name of it is This Is War, Iran Ready's devastating response to U.S. and Israel embassy bombing. All right, redacted news. And the word redacted basically means omitted. All right, something that they've left out. So this is the news that you didn't hear. As you hear all the horrors of what happened on a particular date, then the counter or the truth comes out, all right, of what didn't happen. That'll probably be in part 2. All right. But for now, let's let this play. So without any further ado, the Claytons.
Is about to suffer a massive terrorist attack on the United States soil because, of course, we are. And those aren't my words. Those are the words of the FBI, which is warning that an attack on America is about to happen. And who could have seen this coming, by the way? Well, how about anyone with at least a Forrest Gump IQ could have seen this coming? Could it have anything at all to do with our wide open borders and funneling billions of dollars in weapons to Israel to destabilize the Middle East? Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene have
Western Asia. Middle East is a social construct that they made up. All right? Let me put the map in their face. I was going to let it just play right through, but, every time they say that lie. This is a map of Asia. And what you're looking at is the portion of Asia that they refer to as the Middle East. All right? Asia. So there's no such thing as the Middle East. That was made up for a false social construct. And guess what? That's Western Asia. So is Europe. Just because you painted a different color does not mean that it is not in Asia. All right? So, now we had a little shameful spewing on their glory. Here we go.
Has an idea about this. She tweeted this today. She said, the FBI is saying a terrorist attack is imminent. Of course a terrorist attack is imminent because they keep the border wide open and millions have invaded.
Duh.
Do you want to know why this is a messaging? Why this is the messaging right now? She says because the FISA is up for reauthorization and they need maximum pressure on Congress to vote to reauthorize FISA, which the FBI unconstitutionally used to spy on hundreds of millions of Americans. If they really cared about terrorism in America, they would shut the border and mass deport. But they don't. They care about controlling you. My eyes are wide open. None of the stupid tricks fool me anymore. So
I gotta say, she's making some sense, you guys.
I gotta say, you can just sense, and I watching her interview with Tucker the other day and just hearing her passion right now. I mean, regardless of what you feel about her, she is, I guess some of that sentiment that I was talking at the top of the show tonight is that feeling that I have, this sort of anger about what are you doing to my country? Like, I am fed up. She's fed up. We should all be fed up at this point. And I feel like she's tapping into that right now.
Let me pause right there and let's go to Second Ezra. This is being done completely organic. I didn't write down a couple precepts when I watched this or anything like that. This is totally organic. All right, so this is Second Ezra 15 and 14, because when she said we upset, it's something about Marjorie Taylor Greene, and many of Americans feel like that. And it's no coincidence that the movie Civil War comes out. I think it starts tomorrow night. Comes out Friday. You know how they always put it on, in the theaters Thursday night, the night before. And that's a sentiment. And all that is going to be wars and rumors of wars, and then a war within among the Chaldeans, among the Egyptians, Egyptian versus the Egyptian. But this is 2 Ezra 15 and 14, and it reads, Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another with swords in their hands. And that's going to be, people who are against the alphabet lifestyle, people who want to defend the alphabet lifestyle, people who hate other races. You're going to have so-called black versus white, so-called white versus Hispanic, and this, that, and all that, and everything in between. You're going to have the left versus the right, Republicans versus Democrats. They're going, it's going to be a straight up free for all. And all these migrants and whatever terrorist factions that they allowed in, that the Biden administration allowed in, well, they're going to be in the mix too. So when it says it's going to be a time worse than any time since there's been, that's Jacob's trouble. And we're on the verge of it. All right. And it says, For there shall be sedition among men and invading one another, and they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So people are about to come against each other. For food resources is just for the simple fact that people are against this person's ideology, and they're against their ideology, and they're against their rhetoric, and they're against their rhetoric. And they think they can run the country better. These people are about to go at it. All right. Because of their pride, Oh, well, hold on. I got ahead of myself. A man shall desire to go into the city and shall not be able. Why? Because it's going to be martial law. It's going to be checkpoints. All right. And as I was listening to one of the brothers speak, I was watching a video. I forget which brother it is, but many brothers have said it. A lot of these box stores that are shut down all over the place with these foot plus stick walls, you know, these places are going to be turned into little mini camps and prisons all over the place. All right, which are going to have the place right next to it for you to get the MOTB, the re-education centers, all these Walmarts. All right. It says, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, and houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. And a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for the great tribulation. So people are about to turn on each other, and they're going to be attacking and robbing each other blind for food, resources, and women. All right. Yeah, it's going to get pretty bad here in Babylon. And those days are very close at hand, and you're still going to have people that scoff and laugh. When is this going to happen? Fool, are you watching? Are you freaking blind? Can you not see? All right, listen.
She's trying to score political points. I doubt it. I think she's absolutely angry, and we all should be angry. So where is this terror attack going to happen? We don't know. Of course, large gatherings, they say. So we can't live our lives like we couldn't during COVID because terrorism. Why don't you bring back Tom Ridge's, red, yellow, green alert system so we can all live in fear and terror? Or you could shut the border and protect the United States of America. There's an idea for you, but you won't do that. So they'd rather keep you in fear like this. That's what they do. You turn over your liberty to them. That's how this goes. We're watching the collapse of the West happening in real time unless we slam on the brakes right now and reverse course immediately. Perhaps worse than a terror attack on U.S. soil, though, is the prospect of an all-out war with Iran in order to protect Israel, where that could kill tens of thousands of Americans. So we'll start with this question today. Should Americans die in order to protect Israel? It's a simple question. To me, it's straightforward. Should we allow Americans to die fighting in the Middle East? Because that's what the Biden administration is about to let happen.
That's a good question. Should any Americans die fighting in the Middle East? Has that ever gone well for us?
Never. It's never gone well for us.
Has it ever secured freedom for anybody?
There is no data at all, and there is no argument to be made that our involvement in the Middle East has made America stronger.
Well, quite the opposite. Please, I beg you to watch my...
See, this is prophecy that they're going to go over to Western Asia. No such thing as the Middle East. They're going to go over to Western Asia, and they're going to send the troops over there. All right, what little they have, and I guess some of these migrants that are going to join because for the promise of freedom and democracy and all that, And wherever democracy goes, extreme violence comes with it. You can't say democracy without saying grenade, because it's coming. All right, but this is Ezekiel 38, and it reads in verse 1, And the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog and the land of Magog, and the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against him. And say, Thus saith the Lord power, Behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and I will turn thee back and put hooks in thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth, and all my army and horses and horsemen, and all of them clothed with sorts of armor, even the great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. So, this is the Lord has put that old spirit back in Russia, all right? And he's going to, and as you can see, the things that are happening that are leading up to the fact, well, Putin has already said if NATO expands and, that he will use his Satan 1, 2, and 3 and this father of all bombs that he has now. All right. This thing is the deck is going to get sent up. All right. There will be no peace in the place they fraudulently call the Middle East. There's going to be no peace in Western Asia. All right. And it says, And I will turn thee back and put hooks in thy jaws and will bring thee forth and all thine army and horses and horsemen, and all of them clothed with sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. Persia, Ethiopia, Libya, with them, all of them with shield and helmet. And that's exactly right, because there's war basically in all the places I just read. All right. It says, Gomer and all his bands in the house of Togarmah, and the north quarters and all his bands, and many people with thee. Be thou prepared, and prepare thyself, that thou and all for thyself, thou and all thy company that shall assemble unto thee, and be thee thou a guard unto them. A guard unto who? Iran. All right. And the Carmenians. That's who they're guarding. And with this apparent attack that Israel that did and America did in Syria on the Iranian embassy, because you can say America, because America is the one that along with Israel, because America is the one who gave them the weapons to even though it seems that Israel operated on its own accord, because they don't give a damn about what the American president or America has to say. All right. But so there it is. If I hand you my firearm and then you shoot, somebody with it, I'm going to be held responsible. Okay? Because I could have just simply not gave you that firearm and said, no, I'm not going to do that. All right? Ezekiel 38:8. And after many days thou shalt be visited, in the latter years thou shalt come into the land that is brought back from the sword, and is gathered out of many peoples against the mountains of Israel, which have been always wasted. But it is brought forth out of the nations, and they shall dwell safely, all of them. So once again, you know that the people over in the land, that this hasn't happened yet, because the Israelites are not in the land, and the people over there are clearly not dwelling in safety. There's no peace and safety for them. All right? Matter of fact, the Lord said when they say peace and safety, which they said in the past, sudden war, sudden death will come, roughly paraphrased.
Segment on the Orlando nightclub shooting, that is a direct...
Listen closely, all right? When I said that these people lie, they shall be found liars. Remember that Orlando nightclub shooting? All right? They said it was about the alphabet thing. It was not. The man who shot up the place was shooting up the place because let's let her tell it.
Made America stronger.
Well, quite the opposite. Please, I beg you to watch my segment on the Orlando nightclub shooting. That is a direct result of the terror that we wage in the Middle East, because that shooter was not homophobic, had nothing to do with rainbow flags, nothing at all. He wanted his region to stop being terrorized by ours. The media lied to you about that and put rainbow flags all over the place and told you that this was about gay hate. Wasn't. So those kind of things are inspired by our democracy voyages.
Yeah, and so many people in the chat room right now. I'm just reading all of your chats here with my spectacles. Should Americans die in the Middle East? No, overwhelmingly no. No, Lucky Donnie says no.
See, people aren't feeling that. They definitely aren't feeling these Israelis. All right, in that other video, the Lord's will, that I plan to do later, they're gonna give you all the lies. The systematic rape didn't happen. The killing of babies didn't happen, and they're gonna give you all the proof. All right, but they use these fraudulent testimonies to get the support of the people, and had America all kind of divided. All right, these people, them small hats over there, they're ruling, and they're puppets with the puppet that you stick your hand up to. Yeah, that type of puppet. That's what they're doing with you Americans, man. All right, that is exactly what they're doing with you. But she said, I'm gonna try to find that segment that she did about that nightclub shooting. It had nothing to do with gay hate or any of that. It had everything to do with it was a response to the hate that was a response to the hate that was dished out. There's a response to the act of violence on a certain on this man and his people and his land, and he wanted retribution against America, and that's why he committed this attack. All right, so but they didn't want to talk about that. But this is a Sirach 10 and 8, okay? And it reads, because of unrighteous dealings and injuries, and because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another, and people are tired of getting their resources and their freedom and their power and their land taken and being injured by unrighteous dealings, violent dealings. Okay?
Queen Bee, no Queen Bee. That's right.
I get it. The bee shirt's back tonight.
No. Leo says terror is spelled CIA.
Damn.
Debbie Klein in our chat says yes, Americans should die for Israel. Okay, there's one vote for killing Americans for Israel.
That's probably an Israeli citizen. I promise you.
So no, overwhelmingly no, except for Debbie, who says yes, we should die for Israel. I think Debbie is being facetious, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Debbie.
Well, how about if you vote for that, then you go or your family?
Yeah, or just it's totally.
Yeah. How about that, Debbie? Why don't you and your sons and your father and your kinfolk, why don't you go ahead and go over to Western Asia and die for those people? All right. Let me find. Yeah, right about here.
Directly connected to the terror attacks in Russia.
Hold on. Yeah.
So we're going to attack Rafah very soon.
And the U.S. is being invaded at the very same time.
Yeah, all of that at the same time. And we don't give a crap about anything here in the United States, but we do care about what Netanyahu wants and what Zelensky wants. Those are our priorities. On top of all of this, we learned today that Iran is about to launch a massive attack against Israel in response to the U.S.-backed embassy bombing last week. So what are we going to do? We're going to sit back and watch the Biden administration right now drive us all into a massively bloody conflict. On top of all of this, we just got some breaking news. Russia now says that the Bidens, yes, Hunter Biden and Joe Biden, are directly connected to the terror attacks in Russia that happened the other 2 weeks ago in Moscow through Hunter's Burisma company. That is claimed by the Russian Investigation Committee. This is unbelievable. Watch this.
По итогам проверки, организованной в связи с обращением группы депутатов Госдумы и иных лиц Следственным комитетом России...
Now, you know what? We're not going to listen to that whole thing. But you can, they already, they said that the Israeli, American backed the Israelis in this attack. The evidence shows. And now Russia is claiming that the Bidens are directly connected through one of their companies. Unrighteous dealings. And these men, it seems like they can do anything, break all kind of laws, and, but my man Trump sneezes wrong, and, but Hunter, we all saw the video of the drugs and the underage girls and the sex, and the dude recorded his own drug deal. All right. And all of a sudden, then the laptop disappeared and all the videos with it. But anyway, and this is very, very embarrassing to America. It really is. This is very shameful. And this is Habakkuk 2 and 16. Well, 15. I started 15. And it reads, woe unto him that giveth his neighbor to drink, and puttest thy bottle to him, and makest him drunken, also that thou mayest look upon his nakedness. So when you put on a news story and make it about one thing to protect what the story was really about, like someone retaliating against you because of you terrorizing their people in their homeland, and then to say that their attack was against a particular group of people to deflect, that's making people drunken, lying to the people. And like I said, if it's that easy to lie about something that happened practically yesterday, how easy it is to lie about numbers and things that happened, during World War II or World War I or even longer. All right, so they can lie about what's happening now. Think about all the, omitted, redacted, and fraudulent history. All right. Verse 16, thou art filled for shame, for glory, Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered, and the cup of Yahweh's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be upon thy glory. And it is. Shameful spewing is upon the glory of America. I saw a meme of that someone sent me of the Statue of Liberty stepping down off of her place in New York and says she's going to Virginia. Maybe there's some freedom-loving patriots there. All right? So this place is finished, man. So with that, all praises, all honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah HaKodash, Kwam, Yasharala, Shalom.